Hello guys, and happy Labor Day. The park that I am at right now is usually like super dead. There's a graveyard here, so that's kind of a weird saying. I didn't mean to say that. There's usually not a lot of people here, but I have seen 3 cars plus a horse trailer. So definitely lots busier than it usually is. But I'm here for a specific reason. So the reason I'm here is because I'm going to do the zip off trousers prompt for Shorty September. I think this is a perfect location for it because zip off trousers, like what's the point of them? The point is that basically they're shorts or they're pants. Like you don't know what you're gonna need. And when you're walking on a trail like I'm walking on right now, you definitely need pants regardless of what the temperature is, just because you need to protect your legs from ticks and other insect bite sort of situations. But then maybe you've hiked for a while and you want to just cool off. Well, then you need zip off trousers, obviously. So not only am I in nature doing a nature prompt, because I feel that zip off trousers are a nature prompt, like a nature sort of pant. I mean, sorry, zip off pants if you're in the UK. That would be like rather odd, and like you have a very urgent need that requires zip off pants. I'm deeply sorry. Zip off trousers. Yeah, I don't even know where I was going with this anymore. I think what I was trying to say is that I'm in nature doing a nature pant prompt. Is that I am in nature doing a nature trouser prompt, and I'll be reading a nature book. So, let me get to my first stopping point, my first reading location, and then I will share what I'm reading with you. Okay, so today's little trip to nature is not so much a hike as it is a reading walk. So I am just walking to a bench, sitting there, reading for a while, walking to another bench, wandering, I guess, not walking. And yeah, I'm actually seeing loads of poison ivy from where I'm sitting right now, so hopefully that is okay. But let me share what I'm reading. So the book I'm reading, or rereading, I have read this before, is What the Robin Knows, which sounds like a short enough title. The point of zip off trousers is that they're just too much. Like they're too much, and the title of the book is too long. Well, What the Robin Knows doesn't really seem that bad, but that's not the whole title. The whole title is What the Robin Knows, How Birds Reveal the Secrets of the Natural World. So I'm at my first reading spot. I'm gonna stop and read for a little bit, and then maybe along the walk I will tell you why I'm interested in birds. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just finished the introduction, and I have read this before. It's just been a while, and I think that last time I probably read it more quickly. The introduction doesn't have page numbers. It has Roman numerals, which basically means that I haven't officially started the Shorty yet. But this book is just so much better than I remember last time. So it's basically just kind of giving an introduction to the book, obviously, and talking about how important it is to understand the birds around us, and how like the alarms that birds give also impact other animals. So the reason, for example, that when I'm backpacking that I've only seen a bear once is because like the birds kind of give the warning that like, hey, there's people nearby, and then all the other animals respond accordingly, and they have so much warning time that like a person or another creature that could be dangerous is approaching, so they rarely have to run off from you. So I thought that was interesting. Also, there's like a lot of psychology that's in here. I'm just pausing as I'm talking to make sure I don't hear people coming. Anyway, this is what it says on, I don't know, whatever page with the introduction. If we're in bird language mode, however, we're moving with a whole different frame of mind and are venturing into another realm of awareness and intention and curiosity. We're holding multiple questions in mind simultaneously. We're not focused on a single species. We're monitoring several species consciously and perhaps quite a few others unconsciously. And then later it says that we have diffuse awareness, curiosity, perceptions, and questions, and that we're always aware of the ripples that we're forming just by existing. So I think the reason that that really stuck out to me is just thinking about like therapy and some of the things that I am working on. Like that seems to be the way that I'm supposed to view myself, is with like awareness and curiosity and gentleness. And so yeah, I just found that interesting that like possibly there's loads to learn from nature, from birds, and from just like how you engage with nature might be a really healthy way to engage in regular life. The book is also kind of talking about population of people that might want to get really good at listening to birds and being more aware of birds, and just like really improving their like intuition and stuff as far as what the birds are telling them. And it's basically kind of saying that like we understand human language, and it's a much deeper part of our brain that is understanding bird language. And so like we have this like really good foundation to start learning it, because it's been something that's always been so crucial to our survival. The author, while not a native, is also super connected to native ideas and just really trying to give them the credit for all the things in here. We only borrow the old ideas that have been developed and studied by native hunter-gatherers all over the world who needed this knowledge and acquired it to the extent that their responses became almost intuitive. So everything in this book, though he put it together in a beautiful way, is not new information at all. There's so many other really cool random scientific facts that are in here just in the introduction, but to avoid telling you everything in the book, I will just say the last thing I want to say is kind of going back and touching on that psychology piece that I mentioned earlier. Towards the very end, the author says that the last section of the book, he will be talking more about what we can learn from nature, and that understanding the birds really does help us understand ourselves. So yeah, I'm super excited to get further into this. I'm super hot, super thirsty. I have water in the car, but I also want to keep my walk going. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure out my life. I'm gonna need some zip-off trousers right about now. Like jeans were a good idea, because when I left, it was like 60 degrees. But now I'm so hot, so thirsty. Going back to my car, then I'm gonna find another reading location. I just drank all of the water that I brought with me. So next time I get parched, I'm gonna just have to leave. So maybe one more reading location. Maybe I will finish chapter 1 at this park. We'll see. And Aaron, I'm sure that you think I'm in Norwich right now. Nope, I'm in Michigan. Michigan, not Norwich. Okay, so I go to this park all the time, and I was never really sure about the farm farm-ish behind me, like if it's currently used or not, because it kind of seems like it still is. Like there's crops and stuff that are growing. And basically the history of this is that it used to be a poor man's farm. So if you had a mental illness, if you were low income or whatever, you might be like banished basically to this farm and forced to work. And obviously there's a lot of people that thought that like, oh, you were given the opportunity to come here and all that stuff. Anyway, I'm not quite sure that's how it went, but that could be just my thinking. Anyway, I guess the farm is still used to educate people on like farming in Michigan and stuff like that. And I didn't know this until I read the sign, but Michigan is the second most agriculturally diverse state in the entire country. Wild. The final reading spot. So I've read chapter 1 and the introduction, and I am really liking this book so far. But I thought I would briefly say that I'm not 100% interested in birds. I'm just more interested in nature in general and our connection to it and what we can learn from it and all that sort of stuff. I'm a teensy bit interested in birds, and that's basically because of working at the nature center. There's all these people that are huge bird nerds, and one in particular gave a talk one time where he was describing like how he was in Alaska with a friend and they went specifically to find this certain bird, and the way he described the adventure and the searching for the bird and the eventual finding of it was so exciting. And it basically made me think that birding is basically like Pokemon in real life, like Pokemon Go or whatever. Is that the game where people were on their phones wandering around like zombies for an entire summer, like 10 years ago or something? Anyway, yeah, so I have a slight interest in birding, but a broader interest just in nature in general. Done. I finished this book and I liked it just as much the second time as the first time, maybe even more this time around. I put loads of tabs in it, and those are just things that I felt connected not just to cool facts about animals, but just to like the human condition more generally that I want to discuss. But yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about it. If you're interested in nature or in birds or just in like your connection to nature, I would definitely think you should read this. If nature is not your jam or birds are not your jam, don't read it. I feel like this one is just as much of a niche book as my one yesterday, because my one yesterday was weird as crap and only certain people would enjoy it, and my one today is very naturey and only certain people would enjoy it. So we'll have to see what I read tomorrow, but tomorrow's a work day and then I have therapy, and then I have yoga, so you're probably not going to hear from me tomorrow, but maybe later in the week or over the weekend I will post another vlog. I hope you guys are having an amazing start to Shorty September, and I will see you guys later. Bye. One more thing to add before I start editing this video. So throughout this book, there were loads of references to audio recordings. Like it would be like, oh, go to audio clip number 1 for this, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I wish they just had a frickin' QR code that could take you to all of the audio files, because it was actually pretty hard to find them. They weren't organized in the way I wanted them organized, which is just simply by number. Guys, I just finished the book. Look what's on the back. A QR code.